Hello guys, just allow my computer a moment to warm up. So a little bit of tech stuff first. I'm house sitting down in a wonderfully magical place which I nicknamed the tree house. And so just in case I've got dongle 4G, so I'm hoping that all of the comments will be coming through smoothly and that I have no real technical difficulties, but we're just going to have to see how and roll with it. So, um, uh, tech warning, and then also we're about to go into the mystic and the shaman. So, um, without further ado, I really felt compelled to bring these two archetypes up for people because in my readings lately, they've been coming up a lot. And people, when they talk about the mystic and they talk about the shaman, they're these exciting words. And everyone thinks, oh, wow, the mystic, I'm going to have flowers in my hair and I'm going to, tiptoe down the meadows, but it's actually two incredibly potent archetypes, which I really ask people to be cautious of. I've got some comments coming through. Hi, Samantha Love. Hi, Teresa. It's great to see you. Hi, Terry. Where are you all from? So back to the archetypes, like I really want to just drum it into everyone that it's a highly magnetized time at the moment. Like I'm really getting people saying to me, I have to watch what I say. I'm manifesting things that I didn't particularly want to. And the archetype of um, the mystic, it's a seeker energy. So you must commit yourself to the path of transformation. You don't have a choice. It's like a compulsive need to know more. And if you start to, I've talked in the past how each archetype can have its light and its shadow. Well, sometimes the mystic can get so overwhelming that you don't really care about your family and friends. You don't really care about making money. You don't really care about survival, any of those things. It's all about transformation. It's all about the path of knowledge. It's highly esoterical work. It's that call to being a light worker. It's call to being of service. And you can get quite overwhelmed. So I really caution people to, when they're using that word, to really understand that the essence of the mystic archetype is actually incredibly primordial and it's incredibly powerful, and you don't use it lightly. You can ask, yes, of course, you can bring in and you can want to bring it into your field and you can use it to give you that energy for transformation. But if you're not ready for it or you can't commit yourself fully, it can really be detrimental. I've known a lot of people who, well, not a lot, I've known a couple of people who've almost seemed to have lost their minds. There's just too much information too quickly. And same with the shaman. And I really wanted to bring that in because we can talk about being like shamanic energy, and that's fine if you're earth based, if you talk to get animal messengers, all those things, that's fine. That's shamanic energy. But if you actually start going, I want to be a shaman, the shaman archetype is um, it's a bridge between the unseen and reality. It's also it's like they can go to some quite dark places and bring that to the light. So you can go quite deep within yourself and bring up aspects that are really hard and force it to come to the light. A lot of people with the shaman archetype that are unprepared can go into really deep nights of the soul, dark nights of the soul. And I really caution people because there is a reason that traditional shamans in our native cultures around the world, they would have a teacher that would guide them. So if you try and really go down the shamanic path without a guide, it can be incredibly hard and incredibly deep work. And so I just felt like I really had to caution people on those because in my in my readings that I was doing for the last couple of weeks, I was really, there's just so much, what's the word, initiation cards and some of the truly mystical works. It's quite humbling to see just how much transformation is going on in the planet at the moment. So because there's been some very clear cards that have been coming through for a lot of people, I thought I'd do something a bit different tonight, and I'd start with a card, and I'm going to ask, you know, what archetype are we all going to need and need to understand for the week coming up, and then I'll go into some personalized readings. So did that all make sense about the shaman and the mystic? Because like when we first start on our spiritual paths, we can be so whimsical and almost naive. And these are archetypal forces. And at the moment, what we say is just seems to be so potent. And I just really want people to be really careful that they don't call into their human experience some really big lessons that they're unprepared for, because it can just turn your life upside down. And if you are going to call them in, you do it in a really careful, conscientious manner where you're just doing it bit by bit, and you surround yourself with an amazing support system, people that are really high integrity teachers and mentors, or are really, you know, going through that same thing, because you really need the support for those two archetypes. So did that all make sense? We've got some more comments coming through. Gail, Tylee from Townsville, Carrie from Brisbane, Karen from the Gold Coast hinterland. Teresa, I'm just going to have to ask you to just refresh. I'm on a dongle. It's the best that I can do at the moment. But you know, you can always watch the replay. So let's go into some readings. So we have got, oh, Nicole just popped on straight away. May I have a reading, please? Love heart. So let's see what Nicole has got to say, what guidance is for her, what archetypes are active for her at the moment. So, oh, just for a note, unless you tell me in what area in life, whether it's work, love, friendship, anything, I'll just do a general, you know, what archetype needs to be discussed, what's of most benefit at the moment. So Nicole Lowe, what archetype is best for you? What do you need to hear? What energies are you working with? Oh, it's the Starborn. I absolutely love this card. This is when we're born and we crown out of the womb or out of the vagina, we're at a unique moment in the stars with our astrology and with everything. And it's a really deep calling into, I'm unique. I have my own unique gifts. I've got my own unique abilities. I've got something that's totally uniquely me. So it's a real calling to find your purpose. It's sometimes you can feel like a little bit of a black sheep, or you're a little bit different. And it's a card that's really asking you to accept your differences, to explore them, and to really embrace your own unique gifts and talents. If you have a specific modality or a creative aspect of yourself which you've kind of been ignoring, you really need to step up, because it is uniquely you. It's a beautiful card. Karen Baker. Oh, I actually forgot to do the weekly one. So I might do that straight away, because I'll forget by the end of it. I get very much in the zone. So I'm just gonna, I've got the white sage going. I'll just waft the cards, because I was going to start off with that. So what does everyone in this group and in this collective, what archetype do we need to work with this week? What's going to fun? Oh, wow. This is an initiation card. It's Gnosis. I really thought this came up multiple times with my readings, and I just feel like it's in the collective at the moment with everything that's going with COVID. We're all being really called to make that connection to spirit, to our intuition. Don't ignore our intuition. Don't ignore the things that are coming up because it becomes uncomfortable. Any initiation card is a primal drive. You can't really get away from it. So you can really like try and push, you know, these urges and these creative ideas down, but it doesn't work. It just keeps getting up and up, bottling up, and you can get more stress and anxiety, depression, all kinds of stuff if you ignore the initiation. So if you are being called to write, to paint, to become healers, to travel, which could be a bit hard, but hey, try astral in the meantime. Anything, you know, if you know it's a message that you should be doing it, that card is literally saying you can't ignore it. And I've been getting that over and over and over. So I'm not really surprised that it's come forth because I really believe the whole planet is in such a transformation and initiation, and there's just so many people really stepping up. So let's get back to reading individuals. I just smudge the cards again. Okay, now I did say someone's name before, and Karen Baker. May I have a message, please? See when a move in my own home will happen. Thank you. I'm having deja vu. Did you ask this last week, or someone asked me the similar thing last week? Karen Baker. So I'm going to be moving home. What needs to be done? The Poet. So the card behind this is all about forgiveness. So if you're angry at any of your flatmates, or if there is around the wrong way, if there is a landlord, if there's neighbors, if there's anything else that's around you, you have like energetical attachments which are holding you there. So you really need to go into forgiveness, do cutting of the cord ceremonies. And I feel like it's actually kind of potent, so you'll have to do them daily, which is not a hard thing. You just got to consciously, you know, I'm severing these cords, these contracts, let it go. And also, if you've got some self-forgiveness, like getting yourself into certain situations or anything else like that, you must forgive yourself as well. So the whole thing's about forgiveness. You won't be able to move forward until you have consciously let go. And if anyone's doing anything towards you, even though it might be hard, the lesson for you is to really let go. Does that resonate? Have you got stuff going on, like crazy neighbors, crazy people living with you, crazy landlords, something like that? Because you, unfortunately, are just going to have to really do some energetical cutting of the cords. And I mean, I've been burning white sage a lot, and, you know, different essential oils and different things like that, because there's just so much in the field at the moment that, you know, you have to go back to real basics and protecting yourself. Okay, let me know if that resonated, honey. Now, Alison Colasso. I don't know if I said that correctly at all. I'm terrible with reading names, but I can usually wing it in person. So, you want a career reading, please? So, what archetypes for Alison's career? I'm going to pull some extra ones for you. Okay, so, oops, I shrunk the screen. Where am I? The first one. So, Alison, are you currently in a workplace, or are you looking for a job? There you are there. So the first one you got is the gem. So this is our own facets. So it's our own talents. It's where the first card I drew with Starborn is really embracing your uniqueness and going on that journey of who am I and bringing that forth. This is kind of like very linked to that energy actually, and it's you have specific talents that are unique to you, and no one else can do the job. So it came next with the Father card. So I'm just trying to see if you've replied with if you are in a current workplace, because these two together, the father energy can also be like you have male bosses that this card can be, they're either really fantastic and supportive, or they can go into ego and abandonment kind of thing. So like you're doing all the work, it's your talents, but they're doing all the work. You're starting your own business. So the father card in that instance wouldn't be somebody that's over. Do you have any business partners? Because so the gem is the new business. It's specifically your gifts and talents. So focus in on your niche, what makes you stand out from the crowd, what makes you completely and utterly unique from everybody else, and start speaking as from a place of authority. That means the father card can be actually a little bit different. It can mean that you're going to be in a field which is very masculine dominated, or you can help men. It can be actually helping the divine masculine. So the desert card. This one here is have endurance. So you're going to have to really stick to your guns, because you're going to have all these unique gifts and talents, and you're going to feel like you're not getting any traction for a while. And this desert card can sometimes, you can feel a little bit hopeless. But don't worry, there is a water hole at the end of the desert, even though you're wondering if you're ever going to be able to take another drink. So what I see with a lot of people when it comes to feeling so certain, you're really believing in your gift and what's unique, you kind of expect the universe to go, well, here you go, everything's la-di-da, and you have success, and then you're on 100,000 a year. This card is telling you to stick to your guns and really maintain and do the work. That father energy could actually be asking you to actually rely on your masculine energy. We've all got feminine and masculine, so the male can really bring in that endurance. So it'll be successful if you really believe in yourself, your talents, your uniqueness, and really commit yourself to it. And so really, you've got psychic abilities. Well, can't get more unique than having your own psychic abilities. If you've got your page or something, that your business page, why don't you pop it on here and promote yourself? I don't mind. And we can all uplift each other together. You can do it, but don't let self-doubt pop in. Follow your intuition a lot, and it's endurance. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. So I'm thinking that masculine card, when it comes to, there's the king card and there's the father card, it can have such multiple meanings. And, so it's got multiple layers. You could even end up helping more men than women, or helping men to find their psychic selves and find their gifts and abilities. This has been coming up with a lot of my healers that I've been doing readings for, is the father card and the king card. And I just think there's such a drive in the collective at the moment to help our men, because especially in Australia, there's such a toxic masculinity, like you can't connect with your emotions, which, it's the only ones that can do it help us is the people that understand and are healers. So really Stick it in there, have the endurance, draw upon your masculine, and I wouldn't be surprised if you end up helping men, you know, really connect with themselves. So I can see that, and it keeps coming up. Does that resonate? Let's see. Casey Morrison. Hi Jess, would love any messages that come through, please. I'm working on my connection to spirit. So Casey would like to work on connecting with her intuition, connecting with spirit. And what archetypes does she need to work on? Let's have a look. I'm thinking true. Ooh, initiation card, honey. That's gonna be interesting. I might do 3. Ooh, you got a lot of self-doubt. Oh, you're doubting yourself. Or other people doubting you. You've been through a tough time of it. Okay, yours is all about self-exploration and self-belief. You couldn't get any clearer. You have an initiation card, which is Alethea. This is the pursuit of truth and wisdom. It is peeling away the layers of where you're lying to yourself and where you're not speaking your truth. It's, you know, literally like if you need to, if you're surrounded by people who are not spiritually aligned, so you're kind of like keeping that part hidden, you need to find a tribe that can support you, whether it's online, it's in meditation groups, it's yoga groups, any of those kinds of things. That's going to be really important to help you move through that and do that work. It's multi-layered. All initiation cards are quite big. So if you're lying to yourself about anything, if you need to verbally speak your truth more, if there's people that are liars around you, they're going to be making you uncomfortable and you just like your integrity is being stepped up and you're like, oh, I can't handle that vibration anymore. So that's a big one. The next card, it's not fun. It's the underworld. That's that journey within. It's trial and error and it's doing the work. So I really feel like you've got like a self-critic that's, you know, self-doubt, you know, self-love, all those things. We've all got them and we've all had them. I've done tons of work on mine to get to the point where, you know, I'm really happy with who I am. But, you know, go back 8 or 10 years ago and I used to put on a smile for everybody, but internally I was, you know, I had a lot of self-loathing. So, you know, the underworld it's a deep exploration of yourself, but you literally are asking for it because as you're exploring spirit, you have to dig through all of that to really get to spirit. And that initiation card is giving you the strength to get through it. And the animal card, this is being really comfortable in your skin. It's getting to that point where you just love yourself and you've got to do work to get there. And you really just know who you are and you're in your sovereign. It's a beautiful card, but it's also it's a bit of work. So know that you're being very supported. You're in initiation right now, and just start being really as honest with yourself as you can and surround yourself with high vibrationary people and people who are not liars, you know, and not going to judge you for your spiritual path. How does that resonate? So let's have a look. Karen wrote, yes, Karen, you have got some serious forgiveness and if you've got that kind of energy surrounded with you, you need to absolutely smudge your place daily, do energy work daily, cut the hooks, cut the cords, you know, null and void soul contracts. But you've also got to move into that element of forgiveness for the situation, for them, which is not easy when it's so in your face, but you're not going to move until you get to that place. You are in a life lesson right now. You have to really forgive, and that's not an easy one, but you'll get there. Who else have we got? Joy, what a beautiful name. I hope you radiate joy. Hi, first time from Melbourne. Any messages for me tonight? So, Joy, what archetype have you got in play at the moment? What do you need to hear? Oh wow, initiation card. I told you these are coming up. And just so you don't think I'm crazy, there's literally only 8 in this entire deck. And it's just so much transformation. And actually, I've had quite a few clients from Melbourne and Victoria, and I feel like the lockdown is really just like pushing all these people to, you know, step into who they are, because I think they're going to need to be of service in the future, you know, really help each other. I think that's what we're all doing, is trying to help each other. So, what else? What else does Joy need to hear? That's a very spiritual. Joy, do you have psychic gifts, or are you interested in that kind of thing? So, the first one, Agape. This is an initiation card where you are, you know, really being pushed to open yourself up to new possibilities, new modalities, new things to learn. It's a card where Spirit is really asking you to open yourself up to completely new possibilities of things that you've never imagined. My comments just rolled. So there you are, Joy. So Joy, do you have, you know, like spiritual gifts? So do you see, feel any of those different things? Are you interested in psychic stuff? Because you've got the bridge. I really see this card come up a lot with people who get like the shaman card as well, and it's literally the bridge from the unknown. People who have got mediumship skills quite often get this, because you're like the bridge from one world to another. It also sometimes it can be when you need to open up your thoughts from one area to another, like you're literally making big quantum leaps from one paradigm of thinking to another. So, you know, I mean, most people who get that are like mediums or very psychic. Do you have psychic skills, or are you interested in them? Oh, Teresa, there's so many people that are from Melbourne that I've been helping with the readings, and it's blown my mind. And these are really just amazing women. So I just feel like it's tough for you down there. But I feel like it's divine for some reason. You know, like there's just something going on in that particular neck of the woods, which is important. And I think, you know, a year or two down the track, we're going to see why. Maybe it'll become more of a spiritual epicenter or something like that, or there's going to be like so many healers and stuff that's activated in that area, and they're needed for whatever reason. There just seems to be, I'm getting too many links to it. It's too interesting. Sorry, Joy. Back to you. I feel that I get messages to share with people that does not surprise me. So this card is asking you to really open up to that aspect, to you know, pursue, you know, the study of that, the connection of it, read books. I caution the internet, because it can get very murky. So really use your discernment as well. So don't just find a guru and give away all your power. Find some really integral, high vibe people who are on a spiritual journey and work on being that bridge, because you have the gift. So you need to utilize it. It's come up for a reason. You've got the Father again, which I kid you not. Yeah, there we are. Sorry, my webcam like around the other way, so I get a bit dyslexic with it. This keeps coming up so much. It's like the divine masculine is really needed at work. But I also feel like you might have had some men in your life, whether it's father figures, teachers, religious male figures, brothers, or a partner, who kind of are a bit dismissive of your gifts, or don't even want to acknowledge them. So it really steps through that, and start finding you, honey. Like, it's time for Joy to find her joy, and you will get so much joy from helping people if you pursue your gifts, because not everybody has them. Just remember, like when I was talking earlier about the shaman and the mystic, just do it gently, pursue, find high integrity people, find your village, find your tribe, find your people that are like-minded, and really, nurture that aspect of yourself. And if you do have masculine forces in your life which are a bit trying to squish down this part of you, then don't let them, and maybe just keep it secretive, just a little bit. Some people like to come out blaring, going, oh, I'm doing this, but when you're trying to manifest things, and especially as women, sometimes you hold things in your cave. You keep it inside until you're ready to release it to the world. So, I hope that resonates. Okay, who have we got? Zane Smith would love a card, please. Zane. What archetype have we got for Zane? Ooh, the warrior. So the warrior energy is, I'm going to draw you another one. I feel like there's another one there. The warrior can be twofold. It's asking you to be really, really strong because you're going through something or other, but also don't constantly seek battles. So sometimes when people, they're going through their lesson and they really need to activate that warrior to get through, then when it's over, they're still in like fight or flight mode. They're still like ramped up, and people could almost still manifest lessons for themselves, and they can manifest battles to fight. So with the warrior card, I'm always cautious, because I really feel like sometimes people forget to lay down their weapons and they can actually rest. So be really strong, but when your lesson's over with, lay down your weapons and relax and move on. Now, I'm just going to draw another card with you. The ocean. So that's the mysteries of the ocean. It's moving into your emotions. It's the unknowing, the mysteries of the depths of the ocean. So that tells me that you need to be strong because something probably emotional is happening and it's not really that pleasant. Or you need to go and do some soul searching, because you might be telling yourself, I'm happy, or I'm doing such and such, but actually there's some stuff hidden in the depths of you that need to come forth, and you're going to need that warrior energy. Does that make sense? All right. Okay, Joy, did that make sense to you as well? I saw prayer and heart, so I'm thinking that means you're happy, but I really want you to pursue that side of yourself. Now, Gail Brockelman, did I say that right? Hopefully. You want a card your spiritual path as this is what you want to do. Well, I am very, very happy to hear that, Gail, because I love it when people want to do spiritual stuff. That's my tribe. But what card does Gail need? Ooh. I'm going to draw you 3. So you got the bridge card, which we've talking before, which usually only comes through with the shaman. To me, it's like a real seeking energy I get from you. Like you desperately want to see to the other side, or you desperately want to see and connect with spirit, and you feel like it's something that you have to journey towards and not journey within. And like someone else will help you, or you've got to pass some tests, or you got to follow some specific journey. You got the desert card, which we had before, and it's almost like you feel like you've been doing it for a while and you're not getting anywhere in the ocean. So like it's really a very personal journey. I feel like there could be a lot of self-judgment with that ocean card as well, because it's like that depths, and it's mysterious. So are you really longing for with your spiritual journey, are you longing for like gifts and talents that are other than yours? Like I'm clairsentient, so I'll just know things. Sometimes I'll hear things, or I'll have like thoughts that pop into my head and I don't think they're particularly mine, but I don't have oval, like, clear crystal pictures. And one of my friends does, and I was so jealous when I really started my pictures. So like I just have this feeling like you're wanting to obtain something. So let me know if there's something that's specific that you're wanting to journey towards, and you've just been feeling a little bit lost. And just remember that that ocean card is the deep mysteries, and the answers is like beneath the surface within yourself. Yes, you feel like you're not getting anywhere with self-doubt. So that's that ocean. It's that arid feeling, but you're really desiring that connection. So instead of being, let me just pick one more card. How can she stop with the self-doubt? What are the time to stop self-doubt? The king. So the king is a very masculine energy. When the king is in its light and it's not in its shadow, it's very noble. It's doing it for the other people. It's doing it for its subjects. So flip it around in your head, and as you're on your spiritual journey, yes, it's about yourself and your self-doubts, but bring in that king, which is I'm doing it for a higher purpose. So if I can let go of my self-doubts, what about all the people I can inspire? If I can let go of my self-doubts, I'll help heal my friends and families. If you've got children or people that look up to you, if you have self-doubts, you are teaching them about self-doubts. So you can activate that king and go, I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for them. And you trick your inner saboteur and you trick your self-doubt because you're coming at it from a higher purpose and a higher cause. I'd really give that a go. And every time that self-doubt goes, you just like go, no, I'm doing this for other people. I'm doing it for a certain loved one, and really name them. And as you do it each time, you'll really notice a transformation over a little while. Just remember, none of it's like this. If spirituality was easy, we would all be gurus covered with money and abundance and not a care in the world. No, we all signed very individual contracts when we came in, and we just have to do the work. But there's so much satisfaction in doing the work. Does that make sense? I'm an apprentice reader, but I feel not going anywhere. Yes, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, but I want to be better. Find yourself a different tribe, honey. If that's not working with your current teacher, when you say you're an apprentice reader, somebody can't really teach it to you. You have to step into it one by one, and you have to deal with your own self-doubts. No one else can do that one for you, and I've had them. Boy, have I had them. Trying to go on here and making that decision to come do it live when anyone from around the world can look was probably one of the most confronting things I ever had to do. I kept getting the offering card, which was literally I'm sacrificing something as an offering in order to step up. So I was sacrificing my identity and my comfort and all those things so that I can step up and start being of service. Use that king. That king is, I will do it for the people. If you step up into your gifts and you start helping everybody and you start being of service to the planet, it's not about you anymore. The self-doubts they'll be there, but you've got a higher purpose. So I would find other people and really work on that self-doubt. Find whatever way you can do it. Call in that king. Does that make sense? Now, what else have we got? Let's see. Amanda Stevens, I would love to know if you see a move for me, please. So, sometimes the archetypes can be a bit random when it comes to moves because it's an internal thing. The castle, it's usually around money. And the forest. Are you trying, Amanda Stevens, are you selling a house, or do you have financial concerns about the move, like you need to have a certain amount of money in order to move, or bond, or those kinds of things? Because you've got the castle card, which is materialistic. So I just need to know whether or not you're trying to sell a house or if it's rent, which, let's be honest, the rental market's a bit vile. So Amanda, I am not getting any comments. We've got a thank you. I'm just going to tell you both options. So the castle is all about worried about materialistic things and building a really strong foundation. So if you're selling a house, it's literally making sure that you get the money that you're wanting for it, but not to be too greedy and holding on to things. Does that make sense? So like when you're selling a house, like some people are unrealistic with the amount of money that they want. And they don't listen to the real estate buyers and all the real estate agents and all these different things, and then that's why there's no traction. So it really asks you to not hold on to materialistic things. That's if you're selling a house. If you're renting and you're wanting to move, it's about financial concerns. You are selling. So really, you need to go into it and you need to go be realistic, but you need to go and work out exactly how much you need to do what you next need. That like wherever you're wanting to move. Don't get too greedy because it's not going to flow otherwise, but you must make sure that you've got your needs met for the next place. The next card is the forest. This is a very overwhelming card because it's like you can't see the tree for the forest. So it's like you might be bombarded by like all these things that you have to do, or everyone's giving you so much different advice, and you're like, I don't know which way to go. And this card literally asks you to just pick one thing at a time, one tree at a time, and walk towards it, then the next tree and the next tree, and then, you know, by the time it's done. So if you're trying to do up your house or do any of those different things before it's done, or if you have a list of things that need to get done, you just work on it one by one. The third card is really exciting for you, and it's going to help immensely because it's the thread. Now, the thread card is the synchronicities that thread through life. So if you're not sure, if you're not know who to trust, or where to go, or what to do, you start to see the connections through everything. You start to look for signs, you ask for signs, and you use your intuition. So you'll find through synchronicities and through the thread that what's happening, and it can also be on the other side of it. So say you've got everything's not flowing, and you might sit back and go, well, actually the common denominator in all of these situations is just one person, and they could be incredibly negative and just holding everything back. So the thread that's like holding everything back could actually be one person, but it's a dualistic card like many archetypes is, and it's also to get yourself out of it, is to follow those threads, to call in those synchronicities, to have a little bit of fun with it. But that castle card, it's all about money. So you have to be really careful that you don't get too greedy, but then you also stand your ground and you meet your needs. Hope that helps. Call in those threads. That is a really powerful archetype, and it's fun. You know, you'll see something or other, and then synchronistically the next day, you know, you'll pick a paint color, and then all of a sudden you see the identical paint everywhere, or you'll have a workman or a real estate agent, and then the next day someone recommends them to you, and you keep hearing their name and name. It's that kind of card, and that's really going to what's help you is like pay attention to the signs and synchronicities, and have fun with it. Call it in. Don't get overwhelmed by that forest. One thing at a time. Stay centered. Call in the fun stuff. So, did that resonate, Amanda? And there's no nice way of saying to be careful about the money aspect. I hope you didn't think I was being rude by saying don't be too greedy. Okay. Oh, you said both, Amanda. So there is the rental things as well. So the real key for it is to make sure that you're covered completely, and then follow the threads. You know, don't be out of pocket. But if you get an offer, just roll with it. If it meets your needs, go. Now, Florence Henriquez Guimares. I really think I stuffed up the last two names, but I tried. I actually have fun trying. You've just arrived, not sure if there is still time. You'd love a reading if possible, please and thank you. So we still got about 15 minutes, and I do have time. So what guidance does Florence need to hear? Oh, Apocalypsis. Initiation card again. I wish I had like a little bell, and every time an initiation card comes out, you know, we all get excited about it, but also slightly scared. Now, you wouldn't have heard before, but there's only 8 initiation cards in my entire deck. and they just keep coming up one after another. When I did my readings, I did a special last month, and I held the intention, please send me the people which can, you know, are ready to transform. And I actually, within less than 2 weeks, I got booked out. It was, you know, I was so excited. And, you know, the people that came, it was just so amazing to see the transformations. And I'm not downplaying it. There is just so many transformations left, right, and center if we embrace them. That particular card is a bit full on. So let's see what other cards go with it so that you can have a little bit less of a shock. Oh, it's not too bad. Well, hopefully it's not too bad for you, Florence. So apocalypsis is one of the harder initiations, and it's when you have some shocks that really like pull the rug out from underneath you, and you have like these massive epiphanies, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I thought that way, or I didn't know people were doing that to me. I didn't know I was being lied to. I didn't realize I had this gift. It's like sudden realization of something big and life changing, and also like can be really deep stuff. The good thing is, because that's a bit of an epic card, the good thing is it's about the heart, and it's not just your physical heart, it's not your heart chakra. Your heart is your throne. It is your who you are. It's your sovereignty. It's that deep knowing inside of your body that this is me. I'm Florence. These are my archetypes. These are my personality traits. These are my gifts. These are my talents. And you just know yourself 100%. It's a journey into knowing yourself. And the next card is the temple. The temple is literally honoring your body, but it's also your mind, body, and spirit. So it is asking you to nourish your body physically. Go do things that you know you love, you know, eat the food you love, exercise and bushwalks or whatever you do, go to the beach, anything that you know, or eat well for you, do yoga, think positive thoughts for the mind, do meditation, pray, all of it. It's honor your temple. It is also a boundary card. So you need to, oh, I can't do it. There we go. You need to honor your temple boundaries. So you don't give too much of yourself away. You go, this is, you know, my time, Florence's time to work on herself and find her true essence and who she is. And I can't invest too much in everyone else. So if you're a bit of a people pleaser, or a bit too empathetic, it's time to pull back, go into your cave and do the work on yourself, because it'll be far more transformative and you'll be able to be of more service to the people around you if you have that really solid sense of how, and you just be so happy. You know, you are who you are. Deep-seated love for yourself. It's beautiful. Now, how am I doing for time? I've got enough for another one. So the special, I wrote an article for the Rebirth magazine. So the special for readings for the next 2 months is I still want to keep things reasonable for people. So it's $50 Australian, and on my inneralchemist.org Facebook page, with the links in the writing, you can go through there and book in through via Calendly, and they'll have some sessions. So next week is pretty much booked out, but there's plenty from then on. And yeah, I feel like it's time for us to all transform and help each other. Sarah K, can I please have a reading? I would be ever so grateful. Oh, that's lovely. I love your cards, and thank you for your time and energy. Well, thank you for being so beautiful, Sarah. I don't know if people tell you that enough, Sarah. Thank you, and you are beautiful. Now, what cards does Sarah need to know? This is just getting too much. The creator. Okay, Sarah. I need to know, are you a highly creative person, or are you a spiritually aligned? Like, are you on some kind of path where you're wanting to have gifts and talents and move that into business? Because those two cards can be either way. Let's get a third one in action. The Mask. Okay. Couldn't get clearer, Sarah. You've got a very clear reading. You've got the Bridge. You've got the Creator. And you've got the Mask. So the Bridge is asking you to connect with spirit more. It's come up for like 2 or 3 people, and it's huge. So it's asking you to go, connect with spirit, connect with your creative self, or connect with your gift and talents. The next one, whoops, no, this one, the Creator. The Creator is literally the divine, the creator of all. It is manifesting, it's being in that place of pure creation. It can be a highly creative card, a call to create art. It can be, if it's in the spiritual realm, it is connecting with your higher self, it's connecting with the unseen forces, it's 4th and 5th dimensional, it's God, goddess, it's fairies in the crystal realms, it's like everything. So that's why I asked whether or not you're more creatively aligned or if you were artistic, because it can be absolutely either, and they're very, very similar, because let's be honest, when most people create art, they channel it through them, and it's coming from the creator source. So the Mask is to remove your mask and show yourself to the world. So if you have art and you are not showing it to people, it's time for you to do it, darling. If you have spiritual gifts or spiritual inclinations and you are, who have you got spiritual aim? And I used to be my dog, Lawrence. Oh, thank you so much. Resonates with me. Perfect. All the comments just jumped on me. So this Mask card, it's time to unveil yourself. It's time to share yourself more. That's beautiful. Okay. Russell Brown, what the fuck? Wow. Do you want a reading, Russell? I've got 4 minutes. How about we have a what the fuck reading? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. What archetype does Russell need? I'm actually not going to say that card. I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to smudge. That teaches me to be, jokey about things you shouldn't joke about. Okay, so I've got probably time for one more. Charlie, can I please have a reading? Oh, Charlie. So is there parts of your, Sarah, is there parts of your business which you could do a little bit more unveiling, or is there a gift or a talent which needs a little bit more airing to the surface? Is there a part that you're dismissing as, you know, people aren't going to like that as much, but it actually might be, might end up being really useful? So yes. I think there's more to come out for you, and it's just something that you're not revealing, and it's time to take off that mask. It's very interesting. I don't get a sense of what it is though. Maybe you'll know instinctively, or it's to come forth for you. So sorry, Charlie, we got distracted. We want a card for Charlie. Oh, it is the thread. This is one of my favorite cards. So it's really asking you to see the connection through everything. Now it's got light and dark shadows aspects. So the fun part of it is seeing the common thread through everything, the synchronicities, the, you know, I might, you know, pull out the card, the river, it tells you to go with the flow. And then I keep seeing, you know, interflow and things with water listed, and those really fun synchronicities. And, you know, you'll have a conversation with somebody, rather either you go to the supermarket and you hear them having the same conversation, and you just know that there's more to the universe because you can't make it up. And so that thread card is that's the fun stuff, but then you've also got to look at the shadow aspects of which, is there a common thread for my lessons in life? So do I keep repeating a pattern, and the common thread is, you know, one personality trait or one archetype that really needs to be looked at? So it's dualistic again. So you have the two aspects, and have a lot of fun with it. Call in those synchronicities because they're really fun to play with. And if you're wanting to manifest things, this is a really good card for manifestation, because you can you can follow your intuition, you follow those threads, and you follow what you're being told in your intuition. But then again, if you're having those, don't forget, you know, if you have a repeating pattern in your life, you've got to look for the common thread to see why it keeps happening. Once you've identified what it is, and then it's time to work on releasing it. We have, every single one of us, that happen in our lives. So we all have our threads that need to be snipped. And I have a feeling it's like a little bit of both for you. So how am I doing for time? It's actually 8:15, so I've run out of time. It's been really lovely. Sarah's just said, oh, always a room. I shut it all down as my ex hated it and put me down and stripped me raw. I stopped believing in me. Well, that's really that unmasking then, because it's time for you to reveal yourself and your gifts and your talents to the world, and it's time to step up. It can also ask you to be aware of people that wear masks, their false sense of masks. They can be oh so lovely to your face, and then they'll bitch about you as soon as you turn your back, or partners and stuff like that. So don't repeat that cycle, and go for you know, stay away from people with masks, but also reveal yourself, because you've got a lot to give. Okay, Kate McCormack, Sarah Kay is fantastic. Well, I thought she was fantastic, and it's time she, you know, really lets go of her past and all those things that have happened to her, and really steps forth, because I do feel like there's something more there, something different that's going to come forth, or almost like you've dismissed it because it's something that you do every day. And it doesn't seem like a big thing to you, but it's actually going to be really helpful. There's something there. I think you'll work it out soon, and it's going to be really interesting for you. And I wish you much joy and love with it, because you know, We need as many people doing the work and helping people as possible at the moment. Florin Hart has asked for a group card. So let's have a little look. There was a group card before, Florin, but I liked that. Oh, it's the village. So, Florin, the village is asking us to be careful that we surround us by people that are our tribe, that we choose, that are high vibe and are supportive and really look to support us. It also can warn us that if we're trying to shift out of the tribe, like we're trying to do on our spiritual journey, quite often it can make people uncomfortable and they want to pull you back into the tribe. So it's asking us to be really careful of who we surround ourselves with, to choose our village, not to let our village confine us. And like, I find this really important at the moment because it's giving people the energy to shift if they're surrounded by like-minded or high vibe people. And you know, if they're just going to pull you down and they just want to conform and get you back in your box and get you back in your tribe, and how dare you like want to leave, because you know, people don't like it when other people are different. They want to pull them back into the tribe. So that's a really good card to bring out, because it's a really good reminder for all of us that, especially at this time with everything that's going on, we need to really protect our own integrity and our own energy and everything, because we need to know that we can be supported. That's really what it comes down to. It. If we have other people that have got our back, we find that energy to just keep on going. If we're surrounded by people who just want to contain us and confine us, then that's when it gets really, really hard. So I better get off here because I don't know if there's someone else coming up. It's been an utter pleasure. There's my Facebook business page in the description. You can book in for a reading. And also I've got a newsletter for what archetypes for October, which has got to come out tonight. And I haven't finished finalising that, so I better go and do that. It's been absolutely amazing. And yes, Karen, that village card was perfect, and it's very much for myself. I've been practicing that, and I'm also been really aware of, like, when I go out into Coles or Woolies or anything else like that, I really, you know, make sure I'm in my full integrity and that I call in a good experience and that I'm as clean and as cleansed as possible, because I don't want to have bad experiences, and I haven't been really manifesting the most awesome time, but I'm working at it on a daily basis. Love you all. It's been fantastic, and I'm so, you know, I'm excited for us all. So many initiation cards, it's not funny. Lots of transformation and lots of work to be done, but that's what makes life interesting. Bye.